First of all, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I also want to give a double honors to the apostles and elder of Great Millstone who taught us this word, and the brothers down who teach with sincerity. I also want to give a salutation to the elect scattered across the four corners of the earth. And in this video, we're going to be getting into the port, what are they called? The port strikes. Just get into a few videos to update us on what's really going on. Then we're going to get a few precepts. All right.
The Biden administration is going to come under increasing pressure to step in and to intervene to end this strike. We're only just a couple of hours into it, and already business groups from around the country are saying this cannot go on. This will snowball into an economic pain that we cannot afford right now heading into the fourth quarter. We just got this statement from the union. They said the employer's offer fell far short of what they want. They said we're prepared to fight as long as necessary to stay out on strike for whatever period of time it takes. So strong words that you would expect in the opening hours of a strike, but still ones that don't sound like the union is in the mood to offer any concessions at this stage.
Brendan, what is your and your team's assessment of the potential impact then on the US economy from this?
Well, we've seen estimates anywhere from $1 billion a day to $5 billion a day. These ports handle roughly 75,000 containers every day. So if you imagine if this goes on.
See, when that's said, that's going to bring in a great famine. You know, it's going to bring in more anarchy, more chaos if the stores have no more food. And these ports bring a majority of goods to America, which is the foods, the goods, everything, the pleasures that people like. And you take away the pleasures, things are no longer a joke and game no more. Okay, so they said how much money that was. That's a lot of money. Millions, can even go into millions a day they're losing, if I'm not right.
For a week, 75,000 times 7, you're looking at 500,000 containers that are going to stack up. Those are just ships are going to be anchored outside these ports, and then they have to work through, whenever it ends, they have to work through this backlog on top of the normal flow of trade that's already happening. So it could take a week-long strike, could take a month to dig out from. So that's why the emphasis on ending this quickly, if possible, to minimize the economic damage.
Yeah, and the focus seems to be, as you suggest, that maybe the Biden administration has to step in at some point and put more pressure on both sides. This all happening, of course, in the run-up to that crucial U.S. election in November. What are the potential political implications of this then?
Yeah, exactly. The election is 5 weeks from today. Biden's in a no-win situation here. If he sides with the union, he potentially sees them digging in for a long strike and the economic pain that would come with it. If he sides with the employers, he's siding with foreign-owned companies that have made billions and billions of dollars in record profits over the past couple of years. So there's really no easy route politically. It'll be interesting to hear how this plays out on the campaign trail between Harris and Trump, whether we get a similar kind of stance from them. But yeah, the timing of this politically couldn't be worse, really, if you're the occupant of the White House at the moment.
Yeah, well, indeed. So we'll see which and how the candidates respond to this. We're seeing live pictures right now, Brendan, of dock workers striking and on those picket lines, at least with banners and boards, at the port in Philadelphia. So just one of the ports, of course, affected by this strike up and along the east and Gulf Coast of the US. In terms of what to watch for in the days and weeks ahead, do we have a sense of where the leverage lies? Clearly, union workers think they have the upper hand at this point. The response as well across the US in terms of how consumers respond to this. There's a potential inflationary impact. How do you see the chips falling?
Hey, I'm here to tell you about a great event from the U.S. Concealed Carry Association. We're hosting a 100% free...
We start the top of the hour this morning with a Fox 5 News alert. Thousands of dock workers are on strike, causing ports across the U.S. to close.
Yeah, in total, 36 ports shutting down, including the port of Baltimore. Melanie Allenwick is there right now live, and she appears to be telling us since this morning that it's been heating up there, and it hasn't been a pleasant sight for many folks, especially the drivers coming in.
That's right. So for some people, I think it might have been a bit of a surprise. However, this has been in the news that it could be happening for a few weeks now. So you can see the picket lines behind me here. And this is the main entrance to the Port of Baltimore, the Dundalk Terminal. And you'll see they're walking around the picket lines in circles. Now, Baltimore police were here earlier reminding the picketers that they cannot block the entrance to the port. The longshoremen walked off the job at 12:01 a.m. There was confusion and anger as picketers initially tried to stop trucks from entering, and it did turn violent.
I come here for 7 years. I pull the trash and debris out of here for the Port of Baltimore, and the officer told me to come back and go in there to get out of my way, and they attacked me and broke the windshield, and it's lacerated my face. Look at it.
Now, we don't know exactly what happened. The union members said the truck hit one of the picketers as they swarmed around it. We did see an ambulance come to assist, and we know that that gentleman did speak with police officers. Again, we'll let the authorities sort out exactly what happened there. Now, 45 members of the International Longshoremen's Association, 45,000 members. That's a big difference in a number, isn't it? They have all been asking for a 77% pay increase over 6 years and a ban on automation at their ports, a threat to their jobs, they say. Now, most retailers stocked up on goods prior to the strike, but if it lasts more than a few weeks, supply chain experts say it's consumers who are going to feel the direct impact of higher prices and product shortages, especially for things like fresh fruit, coffee, and cars. The U.S. Marine Alliance, which represents the ports, said it all.
And this also can be the cause of very, very high inflation. Things like eggs, chicken prices can go from being $10 to $50 to $60. Who knows? This also can take food up, and with people living paycheck to paycheck, this even for myself, I'm gonna be able to make it, through these things without Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And a lot of people don't have the Lord on their side, so a lot of people just going to be looking for the quick fix for this to be fixed. But the thing is, this won't be fixed, because it all leads into prophecy. The prophecy being a famine of food, pestilence, famine, sicknesses. You got all the newest variants coming out. Just seen yesterday that somebody just died off the bird wool. You know what that is. And these things are turning up, as you see in this America, aka Babylon, because the Lord is finished with this place, and it's time for this place to be destroyed with thermal nuclear weapons, like the Bible prophesies for its wickedness. So in order to get to that, the Lord must all these little small plagues to lead to the big plagues. So you got all the food shortages already happening, okay? Well, all these callbacks on all this food and people getting sick off of it. Now you got the dock workers on strike. I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't a government psyop to help push their agenda. See, so you got millions of dollars being lost every day. You got 36 docks being closed down on strike. And I heard that stores only have about 3 days worth of food before they run out, and everything becomes real bad. So this can end real badly if this thing plans out. Okay, let's get a few precepts. All right, this is Zephaniah 1:10. And it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. Howl ye inhabitants of markets, for all the merchants people are cut down, all that bear silver are cut off. You know, and this is the marketplaces. You know, the the boats and all the ports. That's what this particular scripture really hits on. And it says, all they that bear silver are cut off, because your silver won't be able to buy anything if it is no food coming in. And off the ports are closing, they're on strike. There's no food, there's no merchants coming in. There's only so long that Jake or anybody can survive without merchants or food before a place goes down. Definitely without food. You know, I'm hungry right now, shoot, you know. And when people run out of food, you know, that's a deadly thing, because the scriptures say that one of the most deadliest deaths that a human being can go through is starvation, because your body eats itself, you know. It's one of the worst pains you can go through. So it says the markets, you know, when the markets are under attack, you stop the people's food supply, then you stop everything pretty much. And it says the noise of cries from the fish gates and a howling from the second, or a great crashing from the hills. Oh, I'm hungry. Excuse my stomach making noise. This is Isaiah 13:11, and I will punish the world for their evil. So when you see these things, people be like, oh no, oh my goodness, not knowing that this is the Lord doing this. He said, I should punish the world for their evil. It's going to take food, plagues, pestilence, all the sicknesses, high judgment going out, stirring up to the Lord's great day. And I will punish the world for the evil and the wicked for their iniquities, and I will cause the ignorance of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Just for America's wickedness. People just going on with their good life, thinking they're going to do whatever they want to do. No, you're not. Because this is all the Lord's judgment. This is 2 Esdras 15:49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, swords, and pestilence, to waste their houses with destruction and death. It's going into famine, going into poverty, not having money, famine, not having food, sword, all type of different deaths and judgments from the Lord, pestilence, all type of sicknesses, all type of illnesses, to waste thy house with destruction. And we all know destruction and death. And the destruction is just being your end, pretty much is death. And that's what's coming to this world, definitely here in America. All right, this is 2 Esdras 15:50. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up. I mean, the glory of your power be dried up, meaning it'll be gone. What happens when something dries up, it disappears. What happens when water evaporates? It dries up, it disappears. And as a flower, the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. You know, and the heat, pretty much like being the pressure. And it's going to rise above thee. And thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes. It says you should be weakened as a poor woman with stripes. And a woman is already weakened without stripes, you know. And as one casting with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. You know, and that's the mighty, should not be able to deceive thee, and that's the wounds. The Lord just pretty much saying he gonna fuck you up. At the end of the day, he gonna mess this place up. He gonna mess you people up in this place. This is Isaiah 3:9. The show of their countenance does witness against them, and they declare their sins as Sodom, and hid it not. And we know Sodom had a whole bunch of rainbow acting in a whole bunch of Sodom and Gomorrah, place he destroyed because of the wickedness ascended up to the heavens. Woe unto their souls, they hid it not. They hid their sins not. They hid their Sodom and Gomorrah sins not. They were proud in their sins. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto their soul. So for these things, it says, woe to your soul, so your reward is evil. And it's been pestilence, destruction, nuclear missiles, dying in horrible fashions. All your comforts been gone. And that's what is going on right now. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doing. They're going to eat the fruit of their doing, which is wickedness and evil. And this is Ecclesiastes 11:27. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deed shall be discovered. So you living all this deliciously, you've been living good, but the afflictions for an hour will make a man forget pleasures. Meaning all it takes is an hour for you to forget everything you had, and forget all the pleasures, and just know that's how great the Lord's destruction and day is going to be. And that's what the Lord's going to do to everyone. You're going to forget pleasure, and all you're going to know is suffering, and even you don't take yourself out, because only the elect will survive. For most people, just going to take themselves out, so only remnant will be saved. This is Revelations 18:8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judged her. Okay, he said one day. The plague should come in one day, death and mourning and famine. Famine, no food. So these things that are coming are going to come quick. So when they hit, they're going to hit. And you're going to know that the Lord did it. So it's going back into the port strikes. Keep paying attention to it. But this going to lead to be a big thing, So it wouldn't be, it'd be, I'm just saying, brothers, to get some little food or something, but don't put all your faith in it. Maybe get like a little deep freezer, get a little bit of food and all that, but don't put all your faith in it, and just pray that Yahweh Shai has your back and continue to stay strong and diligent. And with that being said, Shalom.